Hi guys, well today we're going to be taking a look at the Synology DS716 Plus. Now Synology, they are pretty much the go-to brand when it comes to NAS units. There are obviously other brands out there, but over the years they managed to generate a solid reputation for providing excellent enclosures and more importantly, reliable operating system which is constantly being improved and updated. The DS716 Plus is Synology's premium 2-bay option. This NAS uses the highest spec in the range, boasting a quad-core CPU and 2GB of DDR3L. So this unit is ready to take on those demanding networking tasks such as 4K transcoding. The price for this unit is as follows: in the UK, £320, while over in the US you're looking at around $500. This is double the price of that budget 2-bay NAS in the series, but you're of course getting a much stronger hardware configuration. And the other thing to note is with this unit you're getting 3 years of warranty. So we're now going to explore this unit, guys, and we're going to also take a look at the DSM 6 software, that new software operating system. So we hope you enjoy. Right guys, well we are going to begin by having a look at the packaging for our DS716 Plus. Here you can see as we've got kind of an eco-friendly type of approach to the packaging, so if you did want to, you could recycle this afterwards. We've got a spec label there which kind of goes through some of the features which are really fundamental to this particular unit. Because it is quad-core, we've got the capability to run the 4K transcoding. And the big thing with this as well is that we've got the 2 LAN ports on the reverse, so this kind of steps away from the rest of the 2-bay NAS in the series by offering 2 as opposed to the single one. On the sides we've got more of the same sort of thing, but this kind of touches on the DSM software, so that is the software side. And then over on the reverse we've got a bit of a diagram of the actual front and the back of the unit, pinpointing certain features. We've got the hardware spec, and then we've got what's included in the packaging. Okay, and inside the box we've first of all got the NAS itself, and it has been wrapped up in this nice foam padding to protect it while it is on its way to you. And then we've got this extra box here with the accessories. So first of all, power cable, that is obviously the UK one for us. And then we've got the power pack, which actually is quite compact. As you can see, it is fairly small, and that is using a 4-pin connector directly into the back of the NAS. Now we've only got the one Ethernet cable. As you can see, this does usually come with 2 cables though, so you would get usually the 2 Ethernet cables. Then we've got the quick start guide, and we've also got some keys for the front of the NAS. You can lock the front of it, so that will protect against theft. And then we've got these mounting screws here. Now the NAS for a 3.5-inch drive, they are tool free, but if you wanted to install a 2.5-inch drive, then you will need these mounting screws. Okay, so here is the DS716 Plus. Now if you're familiar with Synology's products, the exterior on this particular unit will be recognisable. The brand tends to keep the overall theme very similar from year to year, just altering very subtle aspects. So the overall design is pleasing to the eye, and it will coordinate well with other appliances within the office. Now unlike other models within the 2-bay series such as the DS216J and the DS216, the 716 Plus opts for a metal enclosure because it is the highest performing model in this particular class, and as such it will be slightly more robust. On both sides there we've got the Synology logo which is being carved out, and then behind that logo there we've got the perforations to allow the internal components a little bit of ventilation. Up at the top of the unit there are no distinguishing features, but on the underside here we have 4 rubber studded feet which will help to keep the unit from moving around, and there is a specifications label there in the centre. Now at the front things get interesting because on this panel here we have some LEDs for the status and the 2 LAN ports, and then accompanying those LEDs we have the copy button which allows you to connect up a USB drive and transfer data. So this is going to perhaps be quite a useful feature, helpful feature to have if you are wanting to do some off-site backups. However, to make use of that feature you will need to enable it within the DSM software. And below that copy button we also have a USB 3 port and then the power button. The other thing to mention is that located at the front here we also have the access to the storage trays. All you've got to do to extract these trays is press on the lower section, which in turn pops out, and then the tray can be pulled out. Now these trays can house 3.5-inch and 2.5-inch drives. For the 2.5-inch, screws do need to be attached to the underside, but for the 3.5-inch drives we can make use of these tool-free clips. You just slide your drive into the tray, and then the clips attached to the sides, and then obviously you can place your drive back into the unit, and those SATA connectors there marry up. Flipping our 716 Plus around, we have even more functionality at the back. So first of all, we have a single 90mm cooling fan, which will push heat away from the NAS, and the speed of that fan can be controlled within the DSM interface. Below that fan, there are dual gigabit LAN ports supporting failover and link aggregation, so that is going to help with your network uptime and speed. Also in this region, we have the power port, a reset button, another 2 USB 3 ports, an eSATA port, and then the Kensington lock allocation. So quite a nice selection there of available ports for most of your networking needs. Now, most Synology units we've taken a look at don't allow us to look at the internal hardware, but with 716 Plus, we're able to get a sneaky look at the components. So we've detached the panels, and this is what we're presented with. First of all, we've got that heatsink there, which is on a bit of a strange angle. That heatsink there sits on top of the CPU, which is the Intel Celeron N3150. Now that chip is quad core, and it sits at 1.6, and then it's going to boost to just over 2 GHz mark. And then we have a single module of DDR3L that gives us 2 gig, and it operates at 1600 megahertz. You can swap that out for a different module if you really wanted to. We have the option to go up to 8 gig. Okay guys, well I'm now just going to run through the software to give you guys a bit of an idea of how the configuration process rolls with the DS716 Plus. We're also going to take a look at some of the features of the new DSM-6 software. Now DSM-6 was released just a month or two back, and it is Synology's next major release. So this will give you a bit of a taster of what you guys can expect. And also perhaps have a look at something like DS Video with a mobile device, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so first of all, we've got the Synology Assistant. You can get this directly from the Synology website, or of course from the CD. This will allow you to search your network and discover your NAS, provided it is of course switched on and connected with the Ethernet cable. So here you can see we've got our NAS, and it's got the IP address there, and the MAC address, and also the serial number. Now if we just right click on that, we go to install, it pulls up the setup wizard, and if we just go to browse, it's looking for a configuration file. I've already downloaded this. This is the DSM-6 for DS716 Plus. So if I just select that and then go to next, and now we can assign an administrator password. Obviously I'm just going to leave this blank just for now, and also you can call it by a name, perhaps something significant for you. And then if we just go to next, okay, and we can either have a automatic IP address DHCP, or we can do a static IP. Really depends on your situation. I'll just go for DHCP for now, and then it rolls through these various different stages here. I'm just going to kind of leave this running and sort of fast forward. It does apply network settings, and it formats the partition. That will obviously be fairly short or long depending on how big your drive is, and then it will install your DSM and obviously apply some configuration files. Alright guys, well the installation is now finished. As you can see, our NAS is now ready, and to get access to it we can either take this IP address here and we can punch that into a web browser, or we can right click and go to connect, and this pulls up the admin page, and we'll just type in admin, and obviously we didn't set a password, so we just click sign in. Now this is the first time that we've booted into the software, so you can see we've got a bit of a wizard, and this takes you through various pages. We've got, first of all, we've got the quick connect. That allows you to basically have the access outside of the network all predetermined, rather than manually going through your port forwarding. This takes care of all that for you. You just need to create an ID, email address, password, and the ID there. We'll just skip this step and click yes, and then we've got the packages. Again, that takes you through these and you can install them, and we'll just skip that for now. And then we've got this option here to anonymously send our stats over to Synology. Now depending on your position on privacy, you will either have that checked or unchecked. And then we boot into the software, and then it gives you various tips, some of these help tips here. You can click through these. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the features of the software. Now, I'm not going to go through every single feature. It'd be a bit like going through all the features of Windows. I'm just going to go through some of the common things that you guys would perhaps have questions about or that you would use yourselves. Now, first of all, we've got the desktop here, and we've got this nice panel which gives you your status on your drives and also the CPU and the RAM usage. And there's different options here when we click on the plus. That gives you these different things like the recent logs, and if we go to connected users, we've got a list of the users signed in. Obviously that's myself there, so that is quite a handy thing just to have, and you can obviously move it around to wherever you guys would want, and it's just a nice feature to have. Now the desktop here we can actually customize. If we just go to this icon here, which is the options, and we go to personal, we've got the options here for things like the login, two-step verification. It is a common thing nowadays for software, and obviously we can assign that, and that connects up with your mobile device, and it just creates a bit more of a security, you know, like an extra barrier really for getting into the NAS. It's a quite handy thing to have. Personally, I think it's a great idea, and I would enable that. And we've also got the option here to go into the desktop and set different wallpapers, the desktop icon size, and if we just go to this, you can obviously change the color, and obviously at the moment this is the default wallpaper here, the blue one, and if we just go to, we can select one of these here, which is quite nice, center, and there you go. You can change the wallpaper just to make it a bit more personal to you and to kind of dress things up a bit. Now an area which is going to be essential to many of you guys is the control panel. So if we go into this, we can manage different options inside the NAS. Right now we've got it in basic mode, but if we click on advanced in the top right corner there, this gives us many more options. As you can see, quite a few different options there that pop up. And we're just going to go through some of these now. If we go to shared folder, right now we haven't got any shared folders, so if we go to create, and if we just put in, for example, UniWork, we can give it a description if we wanted to, but we've got other options as well, and we've got encryption. Now encryption is a really good idea to have enabled on your particular NAS, because if someone steals your NAS, they take the drive, connect it up to a PC, they will not be able to access any of your data if you've got encryption enabled, so that is a good thing to have. And we've got some other options here under advanced. Sorry, if I've just actually disabled that. Let's go back and just enable it. So that creates our volume, and we've got different access here. Right now we've only got two user groups. We've got admin and we've got guest. So if, for example, you didn't want the guest to have any access, but you wanted read and write performance for the admin, we can go for that. And there you go, it's created. And there you go, if we pull up Windows Explorer, our shared folder is right there. Okay, so back in the control panel, we've got even more options to have a look at. So first of all, we've got the users. We can create different users there, different user groups. That is a good thing to have if you've got quite a lot of perhaps colleagues or different people using this. That is handy. Other thing, wireless. Now you can insert an adapter and you can create APs and wireless router. So that is again a really handy thing to have on a NAS. Not all NAS units actually offer that type of feature set. And we've also got a theme here. Now this is kind of going beyond what we've had in the top right corner in the personal options. This actually creates a different theme for the login screen, and also we can change. Right now we've got the light theme enabled, as you can see along the top there. But if we go for, sorry, yeah, that is selected. If we just go to OK, for some reason it thinks that it's dark, but it's not. If we just pull that up again, hold on a sec. Themes, and then we go into dark. This should work now. There you go, as you can see. You know, these are small little things, but they might be things that you perhaps want to tweak and alter yourself. So the next thing is the task scheduler. We can obviously have that one automatically set up for the DSM auto update. We've got that enabled. That is going to run in the next 24 hours, but you can create different scheduled tasks if you wanted to. Then we have got the hardware and power management. That beeps at certain times when certain things are going to occur. Perhaps something happens with your hard drives or something malfunctions. Can have three different fan speeds here: full speed mode, cool mode, or quiet mode. Depending on your situation and perhaps the drives that you're using, you'll need to modify that. Power schedule. Now this is a good thing. Perhaps if you hit midnight and the NAS is not going to be used, then this is a good thing to have. You know, it helps to preserve and kind of allow a bit more longevity for your hard drives. But of course, if you are going to have your NAS switch off at certain times, and you've got something like video surveillance, so you've got cameras set up with the NAS, that is not a good idea, because obviously this is going to interfere with that type of activity. So you obviously do need to bear in mind what sort of features you've got enabled. Hibernation, the hard drive hibernation, again, really good for keeping those drives, the longevity, but also just keeping that power management and the power consumption down as much as possible. So that by default is set to 20 minutes. And then we've got the update. So here you can see we've actually got one already. You can see a little one next to that update, and it's already kind of connected up to the router, the internet. So it's going to find, there you go. As you can see, we've got the next update available, so we'll click download on that. And obviously, depending on how big this update is, it might take quite a while to do. Actually, it's already downloaded, so quick update, and obviously this is going to shut down the NAS, and it could take a couple of minutes. There you go, actually 10 minutes. Okay, well that update is now finished, and we've rebooted NAS and we're back in, as you can see. Now something which I should have perhaps mentioned earlier is, as well as these icons here on the desktop, we've also got this icon here, which is kind of a bit like Windows Start menu. So if we just click on that, that gives us the access to even more options. Now, as you can see, control panel is already linked there, and we've got the file station. So those on the desktop are a bit like shortcuts. So inside here we've got some more options, as I said. If we go to Storage Manager, we've got our device information and also the volume, as you can see there. Now, as you can see there, we've got the file system BTRFS. Now, this is a big deal with these Synology units, as BTRFS is a file system which is based on copy on write, and it is a fairly new file system which is designed under Linux. So some of the benefits that you would experience with BTRFS is that you get automatic corruption detection rather than them going unnoticed, and you also get a powerful snapshot and data protection system, which in turn creates this point-in-time copy of an entire shared folder. So this is extremely useful, and for those of you who are into networking, you will know exactly what this is all about. And we've got some more details here about the hard drives. Just gives you a bit more details in terms of the smart status, and also the volume and the temperatures as well, which is quite a handy thing to have, because on hard drives, the temperatures are really important. Trying to keep them as low as possible. If they are perhaps going a little bit higher than you would expect, then you can go back into the options and tweak the fan speeds on your NAS. Okay, and lastly, I just want to go into the package center, and this pop-up here just gets you to agree to the policies, the terms of service. Click OK on that. Now this package center here, if I just expand this out, gives you all of the features in terms of the functionality. If I just go to, well, those are the recommended ones that we've got at the moment, but if I go to all, you can see just how many packages there are which you can install. Some of them are third party, but quite a lot of them are Synology based. Oh, there you go, actually these are the third party ones here. So that first section there are all Synology, and then these ones are all third party. You may have heard of some of these. Now the one that I want to go for is, if I just go into multimedia, I want to go for DS Video, or the Video Station. DS Video is actually the mobile application, but Video Station is a thing which kind of coordinates with it. If I click install, that downloads. Okay, and that is installed. If I just click on open, this takes us into the interface here. We'll just skip this just for now. But you can add in movies and all sorts of stuff, so in the next section we're going to have a look at doing this. Okay, so after installing Video Station we get this folder which appears, as you can see, that's called Video, and that appears on the NAS. And if we go into it, obviously that is empty, but if we just paste a video in, I've already got that into the clipboard. As you can see, it's transferring very quickly. That is a gig, and that is transferred in under 10 seconds. You can see 900 meg, and very quick indeed. And if we just then go into the Video Station, it should appear in here. I think it's still indexing, so if we just give it a 10 seconds, 15 seconds or something like that. There we go, as you can see. And then we've got the info on this particular video. As you can see, all the stats are being pulled in, and we've got the cast, we've got the writer, we've got the rating as well, and we can go up here, we can have a look at the media info, have a look at the codec which has been used, have a look at the bit rate, audio codecs. So it gives you plenty of info there on that, and obviously we can also modify stuff here as well. Have it as, obviously, you know, with your NAS you can have it on the internet, and you can download your movies over the internet, but you can also have it as offline transcode as well. So if we just click on this,
a couple months later, trail's totally done. Now it's time to just have fun and enjoy our hard work.
Now, as well as being able to view the content from a PC directly to that NAS, we've also got the option to use an Android device. So as you can see here, we've got the DS Video already installed on our smartphone, and the credentials are actually already inside. So we click login, and there you can see that we've got our video, and we can click on that. Just click on it again, and there we've got all those details which we saw on the desktop version. So we've got the blurb, we've got the director, the writer, all the cast, things like that, and the rating. And we can also add it to our watch list. We can add it to our favourites, and just do various little things like that. And we can also view it, of course, if we just click on the play button there, and then just skip into near to the end. Okay, well that rounds off our review of the DS716 Plus. So, you know, having used quite a few 2-bay NAS units from Synology in the past, the DS716 is kind of familiar, but it is certainly a step up. And when I say a step up, I'm talking about better build quality, more USB 3, dual LAN ports, and then we've got the quad-core chip and the 2 gig of RAM. So all of those elements are going to give you that platform to really enhance the networking experience, and whether that is transferring large amounts of data, viewing 4K content, and just generally managing groups of users and different features like that. And as you've seen, the software is really intuitive, and that software there is backed by a lineup of mobile apps as well, so you can access via smartphone and your tablet. Now the 716 Plus has just been superseded by a version 2 in a matter of weeks, so the only difference between this version and the version 2 is a slightly faster CPU, and we're talking 200 or 300 megahertz. So essentially what we've looked at today is going to be what you can expect from the version 2 as well. So guys, we hope you enjoyed today's video. Please show your support by hitting that like button. If you've only just stumbled across our channel, we would appreciate if you could subscribe. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys next week.